Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. This is your June 2020 horoscope for Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. And I do recommend this for your rising sign. So, firstly, starting off here in June, we have this major Venus Sun conjunction that is happening. So we are coming into this Kazemi point on June 3rd, where the Sun will black out Venus. So this is a burnout, and this is a major time of burning out all of these things that no longer serve you. And this is happening in Gemini in your fourth house. And so this is dealing with your past. This is dealing with your connections to home. This is dealing with your inner feelings. And so this is a major time to really take a look at how you are feeling deep down and these attachments to your past. And what is it that you need to clear out here that is no longer serving you, that is no longer of value to you, Pisces? So if you are here connecting to these old past feelings and finding yourself revisiting a lot of old situations that are not serving you, that are putting you in this negative space, this Venus Kazemi coming up on June 3rd is a major time of clearing and cleaning and purifying yourself of these old feelings that no longer serve you. Now, coming into the 5th of June, we have this full moon penumbral lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. And so this is ending out this cycle that started with a new moon in Gemini. And this is an interesting one because this is starting us off into eclipse season. So this is a different eclipse season that we are entering into here. This is going to be a 3-part eclipse. So we're not starting this off with a solar eclipse in Gemini. Instead, we're starting it off with a lunar eclipse in Sag. And so this is a major time of letting go of these old belief systems. And this is happening in your 10th house. These old belief systems around being successful, what you can do to succeed, what your position and role is in life, and really coming back to that connection of home and family. So big theme here with those of you with Pisces rising is your connection back to your family, to your loved ones, to your roots, to your past, really finding this space to emotionally connect to those around you versus trying to put yourself in this position in the eyes of the world. And so big time to let go of what is the image, how are you showing up, and really coming back into this place of true connection. Now on June 18th, we have this Mercury retrograde that is happening in the sign of Cancer. So this is happening in your 5th house, where this is a major time to really think over all of these hobbies and all of these activities in your life. Do these things really bring you joy and happiness? And for some of you, even looking into relationships and looking into these different things that you are studying and going over in your life, and do these things actually bring you joy and happiness? So this is a big time with this Mercury retrograde to really think over the things in your life of, do they really bring you joy and happiness? And remember that this is a big time of really looking over, are we revisiting past situations? Are we revisiting feelings that are not healthy, that are not beneficial to you in your life? So this is a big time to really go over these areas of your life and seeing if you are connecting to something that is truly bringing you the joy and happiness that you need in your life, or if you are connecting to these old past stories and tapes, replaying past events, replaying past feelings. Now also we have the Sun entering into your 5th house of Cancer as well on the 20th. So this is starting us off with a brand new season here where we're moving out of this very fast-paced talkative, intellectual energy of Gemini, moving into this place of Cancer where this is more about comfort and nurturing and really feeling out your feelings. Where, remember, with Mercury being retrograde here in Cancer, it really is a big time here to really look at what is it that is truly bringing you joy. And for many of you here with Pisces rising, you are finding this joy and caring and nurturing for others. But this is a big time to really care and nurture for yourself, as we do have this energy of Gemini that is going on down in your fourth house of how you're really feeling and your connection to home and comfort. And so there's a lot going on here in terms of what you need to do to feel better, what you need to do to address your own feelings. And so the sun is coming in here into your fifth house, shining this spotlight on what is it that brings you joy and happiness into your life. And especially with the sun being the significator of the fifth house, this is a big time to really do what brings you that joy and happiness into your life. Now on the 21st, we have a new moon that is going on here in your fifth house as well. So a lot of activity going on here in terms of what is bringing you happiness and joy. But this is a new moon solar eclipse. Remember, that is part of this 3-part eclipse season that we are in here. And this solar eclipse in Cancer happening in your fifth house, really encouraging you to do something new that brings you this sense of joy and happiness in your life. Remember that with a new moon, and especially with a solar eclipse, it is the blackout of the sun where you cannot see what the outcome is going to be. This is a major risk of entering into a new experience. And so for many of you, this is a big time of really entering into a new romantic relationship. For some of you, this is a big time of really entering into a new activity or hobby in your life. But this is a big time to really start to learn and experience new things in your life. For some of you, you are starting new studies in your life. This is a big time of really finding that spark of inspiration and passion and joy to bring into your life. So new opportunities coming in for you, Pisces. And on the 23rd, we have Neptune stationing retrograde in your own sign. So this is going to be a Neptune retrograde in your first house of identity, of your image, of the way that you come off to others, of the way that you approach life. And for many of you here with Pisces rising, this has been a very difficult and challenging time with your sign of Neptune being here in your first house, especially in these later degrees where this has been a time of a lot of illusion and confusion that is happening here at these last degrees of Pisces. And so this is really a time here with Neptune retrograde in your first house to really take a look at your image, at who you are. Many of you are imagining the way that you are coming off that is not completely the true story. And so for those of you who are questioning the way that you're coming off to others, for those of you who don't believe that you are coming off in a positive way to others, this is a big time to really go in and take a look at yourself, especially with that Venus retrograde and all of this Gemini energy that is going on with that North Node down in your fourth house. Really a time to go within and really look within yourself to see, are you presenting yourself in a way that is going to influence others, or are you giving off this image in a way that is true to who you are? And there's something big here with this Neptune energy being in your first house where you can come off in a way that is magical and inspirational by staying true to who you are, that you are here to do amazing things at this time. But with this Neptune energy in your first house, are you trying to change your image? are you trying to put on this false mask and illusion of who you are? And so there's a lot here in terms of this Neptune retrograde to look at when it comes to your image. And for those of you with Pisces rising, there is something big to say about how you are able to blend in and camouflage into any situation or scenario, taking the shape and form of any energy that you would like, as Pisces is this energy that is a compilation of all 12 of the signs. And so, are you trying to put on a false mask, or are you showing up as who you truly are? Big question here with this Neptune retrograde. Now, moving on to June 25th, we have Venus finally stationing direct. So, this will be the end of Venus retrograde. It is stopping here and starting to come into direct motion. And so, coming out of this Venus retrograde that has been happening down in your fourth house of home, family, connection, inner feelings, the past, your ancestral line, there's a lot here in terms of you connecting to your past loved ones, to you connecting to home, to you connecting into your inner feelings. And so this is a time coming out of this Venus direct where this is really a moment of you took this time to really formulate this connection with yourself. And so now this should be a time to start to integrate these things in your life where you are fully loving and accepting yourself for who you are, and bringing this sense of joy and fun and love into your life based upon you fully embracing and accepting who you are. Now, moving on to the 27th here, we have Mars in Aries. So this is Mars happening back in your second house. And so for those of you with Pisces rising, there is a big focus here on your security, on building a solid foundation with Mars coming in here. And so what is it that you need to work on at this time to build up this foundation, this security, to really set your values and to set up this structure and foundation that is truly secure? And with Mars being in here, this is a time of really working on your self-esteem and your self-worth, especially as this is this energy of confidence, of passion, of drive that is coming into this area of your worth and your values. And so for many of you, again, questioning your image, questioning the way that you're coming off with this Neptune influence in your first house, big time of really stepping into your true worth and having that confidence and self-esteem to drive towards what you want in your life. And remember that Mars is going to station retrograde here in September. And so this is a very limited time to use this Mars energy up before we start to come into pre-shadow and then into retrograde of this Mars energy. And so that is taking a look at these transits here. I also pulled some cards for your horoscope as well. I pulled from the Black Moon Astrology deck as well as the Connolly Tarot deck. So starting off here with the Black Moon Astrology deck, first card we have is Taurus, right? And we talked about Mars being in your second house, where this is really a time of having that security, having that self-worth. Also, with all of this activity going on in your fourth and your fifth house, really doing what you love, doing what brings you joy, right? Taurus is connected to that sensuality and pleasure of, are you really in a place where you are feeling as though you are worthy to have fun, to enjoy yourself, to do what brings you happiness in your life? And so this is a time to really tap into that energy of really creating and doing what you love. Remember that fifth house energy of, what is it that brings you the joy and happiness in your life? What is it that you can create? What is it that you can do? What are some new hobbies, some new interests that you can get involved into at this moment? Next card we have here is Jupiter. This is a time for growth, right? This is a time for you to really grow in who you are and to really take the time, once again, to take a look at your life and see if you are getting stuck into this trap of, once again, going back to the past, replaying old cycles. Remember that this is a time for you to grow in who you are and to build that happiness and joy and self-esteem in who you are. So very expressive time here, very big time to expand in your life and to really grow and learn through your experiences. And new experiences coming in very big here with this solar eclipse that is happening in your 5th house. So a lot here that you can experience, a lot here that you can open up to in this moment, and really a big time to just allow yourself to be happy. And remember that that Jupiter energy is happening in your 11th house, right? We have Pluto and Jupiter retrograde in your 11th house, where there is a lot of this transformation, this breakdown in terms of your friendships, in terms of your goals, your ambitions, in terms of your hopes and wishes for the future. So there's a lot going on here in terms of changing around the way that your life is so that you can bring in this joy and happiness that is truly connected to who you are, not connected to the way that the world is influencing you. Next card we have here is Cancer in reverse, right? And we talked a lot about how this is a time to really tap in and to connect with your feelings. A lot of you avoiding this and going to this place of, once again, focusing on your public persona, the way that you're coming off, your position, your role. But this is a big time to really go deep within and to really take a look. We have Virgo here as well, to really take a look and analyze and go in and make these improvements and adjustments in your life. It's a really good time to take a look deep within yourself. Next two cards we have here are Solar Eclipse and the 10th house. And so this is a big moment of this solar eclipse entering into your 5th house. But again, many of you trying to back out of this new experience, this new opportunity to fully express yourself, to fully enjoy yourself, to once again come back to this connection with yourself. And so there is this attachment to try to find yourself through the world. But remember that this is bringing you deep within to find yourself through your own connection within your own feelings. And so big time to really take a look within, to do some deep introspection, to do some deep work and improvement on yourself, and to leave behind this image that you have to uphold for the world. Last card here from the Black Moon Astrology deck, Grand Trine. Lots of blessings coming into your life if you are willing to work with these energies, right? So very creative energies, very positive energies that are coming in here. But again, are you willing to accept this? Because something that we talk about a lot is how this Grand Trine is an easy flow of energy. And there is something big about how when something is easy, there is no challenge or push for us to take it on. And so are you going to not put in the work to enter into this easy flow of energy and accept it into your life? Because remember that there's no challenge that is going to push you towards this. This is simply an easy flow of energy that is here for you to access. So big moment of, are you going to accept this new opportunity and experience that is coming in with this solar eclipse happening in your 5th house? We have the moon in reverse. A lot of us trying to avoid feeling, trying to avoid addressing these feelings going on within. And so there is a lot of this conflict and this chaos that is happening internally. Remember that Neptune is in your first house at those last degrees, and this moon card is very much connected to Neptune, of these illusions and these chaotic feelings. And so there is a lot here to be addressed within yourself. But are you trying to avoid your feelings? And once again, very similar to that Grand Trine card, we have the Wheel of Fortune here, where this is a big opportunity. This is a big chance that you can take to open up to this new experience in your life of fully feeling joy, fully entering into this new experience here. But there is something big to say about how you are trying to avoid formulating this connection within yourself that is blocking you from this experience. And so it is a big time of really focusing inward on yourself, which is very hard to do here for those of you with Pisces rising, as you are on this path of service, of helping others. But there is something big here about June that is a big time of self-reflection and going inward. And so this is a time where you really have to take the time out to take a look within yourself and do the work on yourself that is necessary here for these opportunities and experiences to open up to you. Next card we have is the King of Swords in reverse. Once again, not willing to face our challenges, to master ourselves. So for those of you with Pisces rising, it's a big time of really taking a look within yourself, taking the time to do the work to master and improve yourself. Remember that we had that Virgo energy earlier. And we have this North Node in your fourth house. So this is a big time of really working on improving, making the adjustments within yourself. Page of Pentacles. This is a big time of learning, and it's very interesting here with these last two sets of cards that we're going to get into, that there is a lot here in terms of making a choice of, are you going to work on yourself or not? And what is it that you are going to do in order to find some closure within yourself, to find this improvement on yourself that is needed. And so with the Page of Pentacles, this is an opportunity here to learn, to grow, to work on yourself. Now, this first set of cards here, we have the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. So we're working with this two energy, this duality. And remember that we have all of this Gemini activity going on in your fourth house, where there's a lot of duality. There's a lot of choices of whether you are going to feel and work on yourself and connect internally with your deepest feelings, or if you're going to disconnect. And so there's a big question here of, what is the choice that you're going to make? Are you going to bring your life into balance and choose a path of where you are headed in your life? And this is some very strong internal work that needs to be done here. And so are you going to keep juggling decisions of whether you're going to face yourself or run from yourself, and keep avoiding this path, this journey of choosing this inner navigation within yourself? Last set of cards here is the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Wands. And it's very interesting here that we have the Ten of Wands first in the pair, right? Because the Ten of Wands is the end of this story of the Nine of Wands. But there's something big here where we don't want to fully leave behind the past. Many of you are trying to continue to revisit these situations that are already done, that are already over with. And remember that that fourth house is very much connected to the past, where we have all of this energy going on in Gemini. And so, are you still in this space of trying to go back to the past, trying to think it over, trying to talk yourself out of a situation? There is something big here about this 10 of Wands going to the 9 of Wands of actually we're trying to go backwards. And both of these energies here are very much about ending and finding that closure and peace of mind. And so there is something big to say about letting go of these old attachments and connections that is strongly coming through for your Pisces. So you must go in and work on yourself and fully let go of these old experiences so that you can bring in these new experiences. Remember that solar eclipse opportunity that is happening in your fifth house. So big things to work on internally here, Pisces, and big opportunities that are on the way for those of you who are willing to do the work. That is your horoscope for June 2020 for Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And I want to thank you all once again so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.